On my left, you don't have to stand up necessarily. Vinay is the Chief Technical Architect of CMC Limited. That's where we have looked for this effort. We have looked no less. Rajesh Gupta is sitting in the middle of the room. He is the Regional Director for ICT at Tata and is responsible for Africa. YP Singhal is sitting in the middle of the room. He is MD Tata Zimbabwe. Vishesh Wariku, who will speak to you not too long from now, is the head of Middle East and Africa for CMC Limited. He sits standing on my right. Vinay, you don't have to show where you are. You will show your face in good time. Dinesh Godaye is Project Manager, CDSIL, at that capacity at head office. He's standing on the right. There will come a time for introducing you. We have got the systems architect at HP, Gerrit van den Doel. Gerrit, I hope I say it correctly, sitting in the middle of the room, and he forms part of that technology and business partnership that we are working with. Philip Mudimu, I haven't seen Philip come in yet, but he will arrive. He's Chief Operating Officer of EcoWare, and is part of that technology team. Shazad Mansour is the Chief Architect at Liquid Telecom. I know they are having a whisper somewhere with Philip, but they will be in this room later on. I have got Dale Devran. Now, I just call Dale a specialist salesman because his title is long enough to fill this room, and I'm not going to attempt to call you all those things that were given to me to introduce you. Ron Heislock is Chairman of Real Time. I haven't seen Ron walk in. Ron, yes, thank you. And Winston Mutasa is MD of Real Time. I'd just like briefly to tell you who comprises the board of Chengetedzai. Otherwise, I will be remiss to open the floor without their permission. You all know what happens between chief executive officers and boards. They are my boss. Mr. Mundawara gives you his apologies, but he will arrive a bit later on, and he will have the pleasure of making these board members that I tell you about to stand up so you can see their faces. Otherwise, I'll proceed and say to you, we also have on the board Mrs. Rose Namo. Rose is present, and I don't make ladies stand up, Rose. We have Mrs. Florence Yube. She's not arrived yet, but she's on the board. We have Lakson Zembe, and Lakson don't have to stand up. I know you have the energy to do that. We have Rugarechi Dembos sitting very close to my right hand, and we have my big brother, Chengetedzai. I acknowledge him because he got in the banking profession before I did. That's not to say, Mrs. Suro, that central bankers are not being acknowledged. Those are the non-executive directors that are also independent. Goes without saying that the non-executive directors that I'm going to acquaint you with now are related to the business in one capacity or the other, but I tell you who they are now. Nikhil Bulabai is sitting in the left aisle. If you're coming from the doorway, Nikhil, you don't have to stand up. Moffat Chikuni is across on the right of the aisle. Panashe Chiurunge is sitting near the end aisle here. Campbell Msiwa is sitting next to Nikhil Bulabai. Those are the members of the board. Let me welcome you all again and just say that to give you a flavor of what will happen today, I'll quickly run down the program and then I'll release the program to actually happen. After these remarks that I have made, we will have Bruce Zowa make a formal introduction of the strategic partners that we are working with. He will tell you a bit more about what each of them does. I haven't given him too much time. The program will show you that he has a very brief moment in which to do that. After that, we will hear from Stanbic Bank about the settlement business processes. Then we will formally ask our board members to stand up and to see them. After that, we'll take a tea break. The tea will be served at the back of the room and to the left. We will then have Vishesh Wariku present the CDS solution and the CSD operations. He has quite a bit of time that has been allocated, as you see on the program, followed by a question and answer session. Might I say at this stage that I have taken the liberty as MC to prefer that as much as possible the questions be noted while a session is being presented, so that they can be taken in the question and answer session which follows each of those sessions. And that way I'm trying to keep continuity on both sides, but also to make sure that the questions are taken. But if there is really a burning need to get on your feet and say something, the MC also naturally will allow that. Otherwise, I've taken the liberty as MC to ask us to proceed in that way. After the question and answer on Wariku's presentation, we will have a hardware solution presentation from Gerrit and Philip. Then we'll have a networking solution from Philip Ndimu, and then we'll have the question and answer session. Then we'll break for lunch, and we'll head for what I think will keep us all awake even in that 2 to 3 in the afternoon session, sometimes called the graveyard shift in the corporate world. It will be our attempt to show you a demonstration of the system, and I think we will keep you awake because it is a pretty interesting demonstration you are going to see. That will be followed by a question and answer session as well. We have tried after that presentation to respond, if my arithmetic is correct, to 75 questions from the eminent colleagues at SEC. And we have tried to answer each of those questions in writing and remit the answer to SEC, but we also want to address them in this session if we may. So you will see at 3:30 to 4 CSD proposal evaluation question and answer sessions. That is how we've proposed to run the day. I know that we were told by SEC to be mindful of time. I hope that we meet with that requirement. I inquire Mrs. Company whether SEC they wish to introduce themselves or they wish to proceed without that. But I give you that opportunity to react now. If you are going to speak, I'll bring a microphone near to where you are, and I'll turn off my microphone so you can be heard in my time.
On my immediate left, right now, is our team manager. Then from Service Commission. Then next to him is this guy is our business expert and reserve engineer. Next to here is Enyakunu, manager commission. Next to here is Dr. Tapanyawi, IT expert in the University of Zimbabwe. The other lady who is going to join us soon is Mr. Kishandoro. She is our legal expert. That makes up.
Thank you very much, sir. Without further ado, I will invite Bruce Zowa to come to the podium so that he can introduce the strategic partners that we have.
Thank you, Mr. Stambo. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My task for this morning is simple to give you a bit of a background into the company Chengetedzai, how it has set up, and what it is that we're trying to achieve. We started looking into the central repository, I think it's about a year ago, and we were all excited about it because we put together team of IT experts and software engineers to write a program. Just when we were ready to bet and everything and we all hacked up, SEC was a curveball and said, no, we want a system that has been in use for 5 years in a major market. So naturally we had to change strategies a bit and look for suitable technical partners. I'll just give a brief breakdown of those partners and not take too much thunder from their own presentation, where they'll give you a more detailed insight into their entities. As Chengetedzai, we are setting the stage alive in the Zimbabwean capital market to try and bring in a new breath of fresh air and new insights into what exactly this market can be. As it stands right now, we all know that we don't seem to have that many securities that are trading and things of the sort. So hopefully, as time goes on, we'll be able to demonstrate the sort of things that we seek to achieve. SEC gave us quite a detailed list of all the things that they like to see present in a central depository system. We've just taken the liberty of just summing up a few which we thought maybe the most pertinent to situate. Before you know that now on the slide, the issue of the CSD system that has been in existence for over 5 years, I think is one of the key issues. And then also, to say that the guys that we're putting together, if they're really down the road, then we look at issues of what it is that we're going to be providing as a service to the market, not only to SEC, and various other things, the project that we're putting together and things of the sort. I touched briefly on the objectives that we seek to achieve as Chengetedzai. I think one of the key issues is to really try and put Zimbabwe back on the map. In the last 10 years or so, I think we all agree that things have been going in the right direction. And as it stands right now, I regard Zimbabwe probably as a giant that's in a trench, of which the size of it is not so easy to determine. So we've put together a team of professionals that are leaders in their respective industries. The slide before you is showing you the list of the consortium that we've come up with. We've got the Interlink Group, we've got Chat Systems Integration, First Time Centers, CMC, and the rest of the other guys. We all know that to put up an impressive entity, one needs funding from our big brothers, the deeper pockets, and other banks. Shortly, it's done, we will make a presentation regarding the tier and segment, because amongst the banks, they're the ones who have experience in that line of work. To dig deeper a bit into the various consortium members, outside with FTS, who are the leading bidders. FTS has been in business for over 27 years. They've been started in 1984 as a subsidiary of First Nation Bank. Currently, they've got a capital market. They control almost about 40% of listed entities on the stock market. And the experience that they have spans almost all the corporate actions that have ever occurred in the country for the last 20 years or so. And they recently had experience in Botswana when they went on to the CSD system, and they still currently hang with the ABC register there. The Interlink Group is a software solutions company that comes also highly recommended. They've won a number of awards from Microsoft, some of which have taken the lead out of putting up there. They have a very strong business and management experience and will provide the maintenance and IT support to Chengetedzai IT systems. Some of the work that the Interlink Group has done is before you, and the most notable ones, you're looking at the self-assessment tax integrated system for Zimbra, and I think about a month ago or so they were awarded a tender by the Ministry of Industry and Commerce to implement the commodity exchange system in Zimbabwe. So they are doing pretty good in that regard. And then our colleagues from India, with the CTSL, they operate the central depository on the Mumbai Stock Exchange. They've been in operation since 1999.
Power coming there.
And the number of securities that they control is about 8 billion, which some people might think, look, why would you pick up on such companies that hang on these huge transactions and things like I indicated earlier on. How do you charge the size of Zimbabwe when things have been skewed as such? We also have CMC, which is a charter enterprise, hence the presence of the charter officials. CMC also is renowned in the software industry, as you can see the impressive CV that they have there, especially the certification of the CMI level 5, which is the highest in that level. They will be assisting in the technology platform to be implemented in the Chengetedzai consortium. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, the team that has also been assembled in terms of the individuals, I'm highly recommended. They've got very impressive CVs, which were attached at the end of the write-up that was submitted to your office. We've got a mixture of all sorts of qualifications, from PhDs, MBAs, to accounting degrees, lawyers, and engineers. And basically, we want to come in and be heavy hitters in the industry. And as I mentioned earlier to you, that we really need to transform the landscape of the Zimbabwean capital market. And on that note, to sum everything up, we have almost assembled the best that the global market has to offer. And we intend delivering the best that Zimbabwe can also offer, not only to Zimbabwe, but to the region. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Bruce. May I just commend you for staying inside the time that the MC had allocated you. If the MC is running a shade late, it's not your burden, it's mine to keep us going. I think it is time to acknowledge and to invite to the podium our colleagues from Stanbic. I believe that Isabella, you are ready to talk to us about settlement business processes. Good morning, welcome, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to acknowledge the members of the NCC and the full board of Chengetedzai. Without further ado, I think I'll fire away straight into the business of the day. I'll briefly introduce to you our group, the Standard Bank Group, and then talk about our value add as a member of the Chengetedzai consortium. I'll briefly also touch on our technological platform and our capabilities in regards to settlement. This is who we are. Standard Bank is a member of the Standard Bank Group of South Africa. The group has presence in Africa, 17 countries in Africa, and 16 countries outside of Africa. We offer a wide range of financial solutions, spanning from banking across to all the facilities related to financial services industry. Like I alluded earlier, we listed on the Joint Stock Exchange. We've got 150 years of experience in banking, 15 years experience here in Zimbabwe as a custodial services provider. We are an emerging markets firm, and hence we take an active interest in developing markets that we operate in, and hence our keen interest in the CSD development here in Zimbabwe. Our role as a settlement bank, we believe we've got the capacity, the expertise, and the experience to manage the risks that come with that. We also believe we've got a strong technological platform upon which we can deliver this. As a settlement bank, we are a settlement bank for multiple clients and brokers and independent custodians. We are also an independent custodian. In terms of risk management framework, we are geared to manage risk across settlement, corporate actions, reconciliation of assets, across multiple asset classes, and we believe this is at the core of the CSD agenda. In terms of technological platform, we have systems that are geared to offer efficient and effective processing of corporate actions, to offer independent and consolidated reporting of securities, to also offer auto reconciliation of securities positions with transfer secretaries. We believe that we can be able to integrate seamlessly into the CSD to ensure that transactions follow a seamless instruction path between the bank and the CSD, both for fund settlement and also scrip. We also have a very robust and vibrant electronic banking solution, which is web-based and is also real-time. This will enable the CSD to view real-time all cash positions online, like the settlement accounts, and to be able to move funds for settlement to achieve delivery versus payment. So in terms of this whole new concept, the CSD and transition from paper to electronic scrip, it's not a new concept to Stanbic Bank. It's essentially, the way we see it, an extension of a boutique of services that we are currently offering in markets across our network. We have similar strategic partnerships in South Africa with Stret, in Kenya with the CSD in Kenya, in Zambia the same thing, with settlement banker there as well. And so in terms of commitment to Zimbabwe, in Zimbabwe we believe we have a heartbeat feel of the needs of our market. We have been playing a central role in the flow of capital into this market, primarily by playing our role as settlement bank at the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange currently, and also we are a leading custodian. In terms of our SWIFT capabilities, in being able to integrate with the CSD, if it's SWIFT enabled, we are already on SWIFT. And Standard Bank Group and all its subsidiaries, of course, are using SWIFT ISO 15022 standards. Our SWIFT is upgraded annually through the SWIFT SRG. Our support center in Johannesburg does the annual upgrades. And we have developed interfaces with our core banking systems for both cash and custodial services across our network. We're able to interface with external systems such as the CSD client systems of central banks, where the relevant external parties are SWIFT compliant or SWIFT enabled. So just to sum up, we believe that the strategic intent of this whole project is to ensure that we inspire investor confidence in our market as Zimbabwe. It's an issue of transparency, it's an issue of independence. We believe as a reputable global custodian, through our partnerships with the likes of the Bank of New York Mellon in the US and the ICBC in China, investors will draw a level of comfort in dealing with a name that they're already familiar with. And also, as far as risk management is concerned, we believe we've got that covered in terms of your strategic objectives, the operational risk. We talk to the capacity and expertise we have, people and technology-wise, to handle the likely increase in transaction volumes that will occur once we go electronic. In terms of the financial risk inherent in this, we believe we command a very strong balance sheet as Stanbic Bank in Zimbabwe and also backed by our group in Johannesburg. Some headline earnings there as of 2009, 31 December last year, it's 1.4 billion. Market cap is at about 22 billion. So we believe we can cover that risk, we can carry that risk. The main thing for us as Standard Bank is to ensure that we connect Africa to the world and the world to Africa. So hence we're very keen to see this going. We believe it's been long overdue. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Sabela, and thank you, Stanbic. Stay strong, continue to play this. I believe that is the last thing that any investor wants to hear when they don't know where the transaction has gone. Stay on your feet, grow on your feet, grow on your experience, but thank you. Congratulations for being the only lady I can see on the speaking program. Thank you very much. I think it's the moment where I will ask a few ladies to stand on their feet, which is something I didn't want to do. But since there will be ladies of the board, it's the Chengetedzai, some of them are not here, so Rose, I think, whom I just want to see. Here is our board, Mrs. Rose Namo. If the chairman was here, I was only going to offend her by letting the chairman stand first. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our non-executive directors. Next to her is Lakson Zembe. Lakson, if you'll be abstaining. Going along towards Stambik, but the gentleman is Moffat Chikun, if you'll be abstaining. Coming back into row number 3, Nikhil, if you'll be abstaining, Nikhil Bulaka. On his left, Campbell Musiwa. And next to Campbell, the one that I gave, not easily next stand up, but he will stand up. Mugoma Cherisa Dai. And I think coming back this way towards me, he will have to stand up twice so you can see him. Look at it, you stand up. When the chairman of the board is in, and whenever any other members of the board come in, I'll find a way of diplomatically connecting you to them. I may not always make them stand up here, but I'll just take them down and you can see them. I'm Benkwaso Sich Tambo. I'm the CEO of Chengetedzai. It is my privilege to try and move us on to the next stage. I hear the cutlery and crockery clacking in the back, and I think it says to me, we are at the point where we'll take a tea break, then we'll come back here and engage with Vishesh. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you for tea at the back.